Good evening. Welcome to another live stream. And I'm going to kick us straight in and get Glenn on screen. Hello, Glenn.
You eat, love?
Yeah, I'm all right. Are you?
I'm all right. Thank you very much.
Good.
All good. You were cutting that fine, weren't you?
I was. I've just literally just sat down, but I do have my coffee to hand. So
good man.
Yeah, I'm good. A bit frazzled, but good.
It's so, down to the wire.
Yeah, over here.
Living daylights. Anyway,
it's been Father's Day in the UK, hasn't it? So I've had pizza. Finished it off. Done my kickboxing. I've had pizza, and I'm doing a Call AF live stream. How about that?
What does AF stand for then?
As fun. Call as fun.
Audio filmic.
Yes, exactly that.
Yes. Yeah.
So I suppose important question to kick us off and just to warm us up. I had pineapple on my pizza. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
I quite like pineapple on a pizza. I don't mind pineapple on a pizza. Depends on the pizza.
Yeah, I tend to go for the jalapeno with red onion and
pepperoni
and pineapple. So you get that hot, sweet, salty, everything all in one slice, and it's lovely.
Umami.
Yeah. Jeremy Carr says, like the pineapple. Or like the pineapple.
Like the pineapple? Like the stream. Like the pineapple. Exactly. Just like everything. Just like
I'm going to jump into the comments and see who we've got with us so far before we kick this thing into gear. We had Real Sketchman was here earlier. I don't know if he's in the stream, but it says he's going to try and be here on time.
Hi, if you are.
A couple of comments regarding the topic, so I'm going to skip over those for now. And an unrelated comment as well, so I'm skipping over that for now. But we'll come back, and with us we have Antonelli Biello. Good afternoon, Phil. And all of you lovely people in the chat. This should be quite an interesting topic to discuss.
Hopefully.
I hope so, Anthony. We'll see. It's something that's very much on my mind, so I thought we'd go with it. We've got Gideon Jones with us. Hello, everyone.
Hey,
hello,
good evening.
We've got John Robinson. Good evening, Phil, Glenn, and all
John.
at home. Evening, John. Hope you're well. We've got Woody with us as well. Yeah. Hello, all.
Hey, Woody.
All are well. We've got Asim Akhtar. Hi, Phil and Glenn. Hope you guys are well. And hello to everyone.
Nice to see you again.
AJ Pink. Good evening, all.
AJ.
Good evening, AJ. We've got Johnny Carrotid. Even though it's a couple of weeks, I'm off work today.
I'm off work today. Hey.
And Jeremy says, like, subscribe, like the pineapple.
Yes. Share.
Johnny
Carrotid. Notification button.
Pineapple on pizza is boffin.
Yeah, that is such a Scottish terminology there, Johnny. Explain yourself. I'm assuming from that it's horrible. But
we do have Real Sketchman here. He's here.
He is here.
Join in. Jeremy says share. Jeremy says hit the notification button. Jeremy says eat pizza.
Eat pizza.
Hope all is well, everyone. And happy Father's Days. Thank you very much. We've got John the Movie Man. Happy Father's Day, guys. We've got Luke's Film Unboxings. Good evening, Luke. Hope you're well.
Hello.
We've got Acemec. Hello, gang. Films are brilliant.
Thanks.
And we've got Lynn in the other room. That's today Lynn in the kitchen.
Yes.
I was going to make a really sexist comment, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, probably not wise.
No. Johnny Carrotid says boggin.
Boggin. Okay. Yes. And I'm assuming that was horrible, is what you meant.
I think so. From the emoji that he picked on there. I'm not going to jump straight into the topic today. I just wanted to bring something up because it's something that mildly irritated me earlier. You sent it to me.
Did I?
You sent it to me, yeah.
Oh, very recently sent it to you.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It was have you seen the kickback on the new Superman Stand Up and Fight for Snyderverse on July 11th?
Oh, that was yesterday I sent that.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Just move on, people. Jesus.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of tired of the online toxicity towards anything and everything. I mean, they'll try and build up something to spoil it for anyone else that watches it. I mean, nothing's safe from them. But yeah, the Superman movie is getting real kick here. And this one's suggesting post spoilers everywhere, which is quite scary for those of us that are on social media a lot, so that you've got these guys posting spoilers to try and spoil it, people are less likely to see or enjoy the movie if it's already spoiled. And then they suggest then leave bad ratings on review sites. And yeah, things like that. Do you know anyone that buys into any of this crap? Because I'm tired of seeing it.
I don't personally. Like I say, I see it a lot online, and it's just people are pathetic, quite frankly. It's just, yes, you like something, yes, it ended. Move on. Nothing lasts forever. I like the Snyder stuff, but I'm ready for a refresh and what have you. It was getting really messy, and it needed a bit of a change of direction. And let's just go with it. They exist. The Snyder stuff exists. Just appreciate it for what it is and how it is, and it ended. That's the end of it, really.
I don't like the power that some of these trolls, if you like, but some of the masses, the power that they seem to have over influencing if a film is a hit or not without giving it a chance or without seeing it. They seem to wield that power. I mean, I'm not saying it's good or bad because I've not seen it, but the Snow White stuff that came out, there's so much negativity around it. I can't make out whether people enjoyed it or not, because people are just slamming Rachel Zegler for whatever she's opened her mouth and spouted, and you just can't get a decent review of it. I mean, we're potentially going to watch it at some point because of the kids, but I don't know if it deserved it or not. I've not seen it, so I couldn't say if it deserved it, but geez, I can't believe the absolute hideousness that I'm reading about it without people seeing it.
I've not really seen a lot of slating of the film, to be honest. I've seen more slating of, like I say, her and things like this. Regarding this whole Snyder stuff and what have you, I just think they are not genuine film fans. They are not genuine, nice members of a film community.
Yeah.
If they're willing, irrelevant of their beliefs, if they're willing to ruin a film for somebody else who they are supposedly part of, one of the community, then they're idiots. They're just scum of the earth, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'd be like, people ruining. I mean, there was always the joke of there's a Simpsons episode where Homer leaves the cinema having watched Empire Strikes Back, and there's a queue of people, and he goes, I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke's father. And it is, Homer does it because he's a bit dim and doesn't kind of think about it. These people would do that on purpose because they're just malicious and quite horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy says some people just want to watch the world burn. I think some people do.
Very true.
Anthony says, sounds like the trolls don't have a life. I sometimes wonder. What they actually do, if they do or not. I'm not sure, but AceMech, ideology destroys art. There we go. We've got Martin 2325 with us. Good evening, guys. And everyone watching along. Real Sketchman says, as much as I love the DCEU movies, these nut jobs, which I think they're a loud minority, just need to move on. They're just movies. These characters have been redone in comics, TV, and film so many times. I welcome all adaptations.
Yeah,
and I think they should be given the chance to see something different, to reimagine something.
But it's the joy of social media, isn't it? Because you've not got kind of diehard Christopher Reeve fans trying to ban Lois and Clark or the Snyder stuff happening.
Yeah.
No, boycott it. Christopher Reeve is the only Superman.
I think the sad thing is,
it's just he did his thing, and those were those movies, and those are those movies, and we've got new movies coming, and you just need to move with it.
I think the sad thing is that they don't see the Snyderverse is done regardless what happens, but 100%. They don't see that if they do destroy this Superman movie taking hold, then it might be years before we see any of these characters on screen again. Because if they can't prove they can hold a box office, then what's the point in making them if they can't make bank?
I think the box office pre-sales are already kind of showing that it's going to be up to like 185 million opening weekend. Just in the States, so it's going to be a huge hit. So they can rant and rave and jump around as much as they want. It's not going to do anything.
I do.
Do they really think this would fail? And they go, Warner's would go, guess we'll have to bring Snyder back and start with him again. It's not going to happen.
No, not at all. And then we'd have to wait years for them to risk money on another reboot or reimagining or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's Real Sketchman says a lot of these people who complain constantly are not even fans of the characters. Glenn, shut them now because I can rant about these people for hours.
Yeah.
Jeremy, joy and social media don't belong in the same sentence.
Glad.
There we go. So Meowsalot is with us for a couple of minutes. Hello, everyone. Stopping by to say hi. Busy today.
Hey. All them litter trays, they don't empty themselves.
John Allison, good evening all. Good evening, John.
Evening, John.
Jeremy says, merchandise. There is a lot of merchandise.
Some serious merchandise for Supes.
Yeah.
Big time.
Anyway, did you want to get to topic of the week?
Come for me. I'm following your lead this evening.
Oh no, I'm waiting for you to sing along now. Well done. Good timing there, Glenn. Thank you.
It didn't come on the screen, you fool.
Did it not?
No.
You were watching the wrong screen then. Topic of the week. Anyway,
I'm watching the same screen as everybody else was watching.
Well, it came up on my screen, so
yeah, briefly for a millisecond. It wasn't good enough. You ruined it.
It's not worth collecting as much. So, yeah, is it a loose sort of idea that I'm sort of putting across? I don't know. I was struggling I didn't know if it was a fully formed idea or thought process, but I thought I need to get this off my chest because it's something that I'm thinking about a lot recently with the collecting of stuff. And it's basically down to my time. I'm collecting, or I've been collecting or buying films like I've got the time that I used to have when I was 19 years old and living at home with my parents. It's you know, I'm still collecting like that, even though my time isn't as much. I don't get the time to sit down and watch a movie, but I'm still collecting like I'm watching 10 movies a week. Do you consider that, or do you struggle with that sort of thing, that you are collecting or you are accumulating movies and it's as though you've retired and got nothing else to do in the world?
Do you not think we've kind of overlapped now into, and I think there's quite a few people that are probably watching this that are middle-aged or approaching middle-aged, and there's almost an element of, when I retire, I'll be able to sit down and watch all of these. And people are almost amassing the collection in readiness for when they do have more time, rather than actually having enough time at the moment. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you know, when we were younger, we'd watch like a film a day and not really think anything of it.
At least, and it wasn't just watching the films though. It was we were having time to watch the extras, listen to the audio commentaries, and take everything in. But now it's like collecting, like I don't work or have kids or have a YouTube channel, and I've been buying films as though none of these things exist, and it's causing the backlog. The backlog keeps growing daily because I'm just not having the time because of all of these things. And I think what sparked me off, I was thinking about the live stream, thinking about the guys on here, and you know, we do the weekly thing, which is coming up later, which we'll do later. What did you watch this week? And I thought, you know, I've not watched a movie this week. I've not watched one at all. And I thought, what? But I'm talking about collecting, I'm talking about movies, and I'm talking about physical media, and I've not watched anything. When am I getting time, or when do I expect to get time to watch these things?
So the title of this video should have been, "Oh my God, life is getting in the way." Adulting sucks. That's another one could have gone with.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But yeah, there is just, I mean, you know what's going on with my kind of personal life regarding family and things like that. It takes up so much of my time. That and work and stuff like that. I'm finding now when I kind of sit down to actually watch something, I'm hesitating in watching something new because I know it'll take time and concentration.
Yeah.
Rather than just sitting me backside down and going, oh, should we just watch something for an hour? So it ends up being a TV show kind of thing. Because I'm already thinking now, well, in about 45 minutes, I'm going to start getting tired. So by the time the hour's up, that's probably enough for me. So it has changed what I watch at the minute dramatically.
Yeah.
I would love to just sit and watch a film every day. I really would. Get back into that.
That's what I'm suffering with. I think that's what potentially a lot of our audience might be suffering with as well. But I've tried to explain this to you before, and I'm not sure if you're grasping my thought process with it now, like now that you've got a lot more on your plate. But I know I've said in the past, or you've said, are you watching a movie tonight? And I said, I just can't get in the right headspace because I've had work, I've been concentrating on something else, I've had the kids running around. And when you actually stop, it's almost like, you know, I've got a little bit of time before I need to go to bed. I can't bother to watch film. I don't want to commit the full 2 hours to watching something. I want to glare into space for a bit and probably watch a half-hour TV show or something like that. I've just not got the head capacity to do it. I'm just literally exhausted. And I don't know, it's been hard for me to explain to you how I feel, why I'm not watching the movie with that couple of hours.
Oh, no, it's never been that I've not grasped that. I've always grasped it. It's when you then go, it's some of the selection of films that you actually choose at that point. Where you go, I know it's going to be rubbish, but you know, I'm going to watch it anyway because I don't really care.
Yeah, that's it. It does come to that thing. I know there's films I want to watch, but I want to watch them when I've got the time. When I've got
a clear head, you've got plenty of time, you're wide awake.
Yeah, so I end up watching trash films because I just want to concentrate on something that I've just got the concentration for. But yeah, I'm going to head to comments anyway because I've ignored people. There we go. Yeah, everyone wants you sing it, Glenn. Sing it, Glenn. Topic of the week, Jeremy Carr. Blink and you miss it. I didn't see it either. Oh, it's my finger.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, is it on now?
It's the topic of the.
It wasn't there, wasn't it?
It was only topic of the.
Oh, strange. Anyway, Jeremy, I struggle with gaming backlog more than films. I struggle with that too. Jeremy, I have time for films, not enough time to game. Jolly Carotid, gaming backlog, Jeremy. I just look at Steam like, ugh.
Yeah. I think games it's really difficult with games because you always think, well, I'll just have, I'll have 15 minutes. 15 minutes isn't enough.
No.
15 minutes isn't enough to kind of settle in and get back into the game as to where you were when you played it previously.
Yeah.
And exactly. Gaming is one of them things where you kind of, I'll just have 10 minutes. And then you look at your watch and an hour and a half's gone by and you think, hang on a minute, where's that gone? It flies by.
10 minutes to figure out the button configuration.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant. Anyway, Ace Mech, probably got discs. I will never watch again before the end of the life.
Before the end of the full stop.
Yeah. I think that's what worries me. It's it brings stockpiling for the future. Is it really worth it? Do you need the whole library of absolutely everything? Which a lot of people do. They try and collect everything they can, concentrate on just getting as many movies as possible. But is it really worth it? Are you going to go back to them? Because I've looked through my collection and there's movies that, hand on heart, I know I'll not go back to for my lifetime. Because there's that many other things that I would go back to, plus all the new stuff coming, that as much as I'd like to say, I've got it there just in case. I've got it there in case they delete it. I've got it. But reality is, not all of them are going to have the interest to go back to, even if they're deleted, even if they're out of print. I'm not going to go back to some of them.
Well, that's the thing that you just had a comment there. I've got like another 20 years until I retire. It's okay going, well, when I retire, I'm going to watch X, Y, and Z. Well, in the next 20 years, how many new movies, how many new TV shows are there going to be that are going to go higher in that list of things that you need to watch?
Yeah.
There's going to be things that you own, like you say, that you will probably never watch again. You think hand on heart, with the best of intentions, that you will actually get back round to it.
Yeah.
But you're probably not going to.
No, it's made me consider some of the things I've looked through. It's like I've got the John Carpenter collection, for example. I pride myself that I've got every John Carpenter movie, even the ones he did for Masters of Horror. But if I'm revisiting a couple of John Carpenter movies, it isn't going to be Dark Star. It isn't going to be the made-for-TV thing that he did. Someone's Watching You, I think it's called, or something like that. They're not going to get picked. So
no.
Should I keep them in the collection to preserve my John Carpenter collection and have the potential that I may go back to it again? Or should I just clear them out and stick to those stone cold classics that I would go back to time and time again? Like Thing, like The Fog, like Christine even.
Escape from New York. Yeah. The thing is, I think you could... This is going to sound really kind of... I mean, I always get marked as being negative anyway, but if you were to get rid of a load of the other ones and you just kept, as you referred to, the stone cold classics, when John Carpenter is no longer with us, there'll be that moment where, you know, they'll do a big thing about him passing and you'll see all of his clips from films and stuff like that, and you'll go, I like John Carpenter. I should have all of his films. Why haven't I got all of his films in my collection?
Yeah.
But like you say, you know, will you go, I fancy watching a John Carpenter movie tonight. I'm going to watch Starman. Did he do Starman?
Yeah, he did do Starman.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go back. I don't think I'd go back to that, to be honest.
Mm.
That's another one that, as much as I enjoy it, I don't think it's going to be a pick for the next 20 years.
Mm. Yeah, if somebody said to me, you've got to pick one John Carpenter movie to watch, you know, every day for the next week, it's going to be... Yeah, or Halloween, or Escape from New York.
Yeah.
They Live, The Thing. You know, they're the kind of go-to ones, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I drifted back away from the comments. Then sorry. Seasons of Cosplay says, in order to choose what I collect, if it's a TV show, I will always hit the 3-episode rule on streaming. If I like it, I'll buy the Blu-ray. If not, I don't. If it grips me within 3, I'll watch the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not sure about that with TV. I went off collecting TV stuff quite a while ago, to be fair. I found it was the biggest thing in my collection that gathered dust. As much as I loved a TV show, I never committed enough time to go back through a whole season of something not long after I saw it. And to be honest, a lot of these things live so happily and are so accessible through streaming. I don't particularly see TV as much of a collectible thing anymore. There are TV shows I still hold, but it's something for me that I think is going to live on streaming. Maybe the odd 1 or 2 shows that I would pick up physically, but they're very, very few and far between. I think most recently I picked up Peacemaker, but I do want the Watchmen TV show, but that was a one and done. And yeah, then I'm also the mind of, do I need it? I've seen it now. I'm not going to go back to watch it.
You've named 2 TV series that I own on physical media. I like to think they're ones that I would go back to.
Eli Roth's History of Horror.
Yeah.
And I don't know the other.
What? No. I'm saying you've named it Watchmen and Peacemaker, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I own that. No, that, you know, I actually started rewatching Peacemaker off the back of the whole Superman trailers and things like that, and obviously getting Peacemaker 2 trailer and the fact that it's all nice connected world and things.
Yeah.
And Watchmen TV series was just solid.
Yes, it was
such a good show. Really good. Very different to the movie, but very, very good. Hey, Slipknot.
Okay, thank you. Slipknot's with us as well. So meows a lot. Phil's YouTube channel definitely cuts down on his potential film watching time, but I, for one, appreciate all the videos and the Sunday live streams. It does soak a lot of my time as well, but it's something that interests me. It's something that I enjoy doing. So, yeah, as much as it carves into the movie watching time, it's helping me on a personal level as well, because I'm talking about my issues a lot and thinking them through a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Francis Shask, hello guys. In good Sunday afternoon, everyone. Good evening, afternoon, Francis. John Allison. I think if you really want to watch it, you'll find a way. If you don't have a burning desire to watch it, it might not be worth your time.
Very well said, John.
Yeah. Woody, I feel like Glenn, except I'd rather watch a movie as they're 90 minutes, whereas a TV show I need to invest in more time over the following weeks and months.
Yeah, but there's things like this week we've watched season 4 of Clarkson's Farm, which I know you don't like, but we really like Jeremy Clarkson and what have you. Yeah. And season 4 came up. They're 40 minutes an episode. It's great just to watch one while you're having your tea, and then you can watch one later on. And it's the kind of thing where it doesn't matter if you stop halfway through an episode and come back to it. It's not, that procedural kind of TV crime show where you can't really leave it. You can dip in and out, which is nice.
That's fair. Johnny Carotid, 2 weeks off coming soon. Get away with a ma for the week of it.
Wow.
Got a new PC and a mini fridge, and the house door's getting locked.
Oh, you finished your PC then? Because Johnny most weeks has reported in, if you remember, that he's busy building his PC.
We're there now.
So it's all done. Well done. Well done, you.
Yeah. Asim Akhtar, just curious, what do you do for work, Phil, Glenn? I find watching horror films is a great outlet for my stress at work. Social work.
Nice.
There we go. For my day job, I work in an office in finance. For my other job, I do acting in films and TV. So yeah, Glenn, do you want to spill or not?
It really sounded like you were going to go, in my day job, I do that, and then at night, I fight crime on the streets of London. I am the vigilante, lanky man.
Yeah, I kind of work in finance, do acting gigs, and try and run a YouTube channel and attempt to do a video a week. And sometimes fail.
Horror films are much more of an outlet for me as well, if I'm honest. They're kind of, it's always my go-to genre.
Yeah. I think it's easier when I see someone getting sliced up and thinking, if that was my co-worker.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you do it. I left so much blood when I did it, but these have put plastic down. Maybe the next co-worker I kill. Yeah.
Pietro Scarpa, a massive gaming backlog and only 4 movies on the backlog.
Gaming. You need to branch out, Phil. This needs to be a gaming channel.
We've got Nicholas Dickens with us. Hello. Just got in after seeing Off the Visitors. Loving the show. There we go. I love the lights too. Doesn't do it for you, Glenn. James Jimbob71. I mainly stream stuff because it's easier, though I have it on DVD, so I realised I am a hoarder. I do that a lot, to be honest. It's so easy just to click the stream button, and because I've got a decent library on Apple TV on the digital content and things, as well as a few streaming services, it's just sometimes easier to click on that rather than coming up into my den of shame.
Den of shame. Nice.
61 watching and 20 likes. Grrr. Grrr. We've done some grrring tonight so far. I think
Jeremy needs to get on this.
Yeah, Francis Shask, I'm enjoying my weekend off from work yesterday. No, it's not even close to October, Halloween month, but I have been having Friday the 13th film marathon.
Yeah, well, we had Friday the 13th this week, so I think a lot of people watched, Freddy Voorhees, Halloween on Elm Street. Yeah, down with all the horror films. Yeah.
I wanted to, but never got a chance.
If you, just a matter of interest, just on a tangent on that one, if you could only watch one Friday the 13th movie, which one would it be?
Forever?
Well, no, just, you've got a chance to watch a Friday the 13th movie now. Which one do you go for?
X.
Would you really? Okay.
Yeah. Right now, this minute. I think it's probably because it's on my mind since having the Arrow release. But yeah, I'd probably go for X. Although, is it New Blood with the telekinesis stuff?
Yeah. That's one of my favourites. Yeah. Well, I was explaining. I was chatting to NCH the other day. In fact, I was trying to explain about Friday the 13th and who the killer was, and that he wasn't in the first, and all that, and when the mask came along, and all that kind of stuff. And he feigned interest for a little while I was banging on about it. But the more I kept describing each one, I was like, nah, I'd go back to that one. I want to go back to that one. I think I'd go back to that one. Because I instantly think I'd watch part 2. 6 and 7 I really love. So Jason Lives and New Blood. But then as I was describing, like, 4's the final chapter and they actually kill Jason. And then you've got 5 and that's not actually Jason. That's a copycat. But then 6 comes along and they bring Jason back. And it's like, I thought I'd actually watch any of them again.
Yeah.
So I think I need, even though Friday the 13th is gone now, I think I need another Friday the 13th marathon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Martin2325. I try and watch a film every night, but recently I find myself checking the runtime to see if I have enough time to watch it. That's something I did last night. Last night, when the kids were in bed, I thought, how much time have I got left? And I looked at the runtime of a couple of movies and thought, you know what? No, watch the episode of TV stuff instead. And then go to bed. And it's bad. It's bad. AJ Pink, it's hot as well. Struggle to watch movies in the heat. Yeah. It's warm over here as well, a little bit. He says, sat in his hoodie.
Yeah.
Nicholas Dickens, I love that film. When you're at your best, when things are at the worst.
What are we referencing? You see, it was a film we were talking about earlier. I love that film. Come back to us, Nicholas. I can't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, Johnny Carrotid. TV is easier on streaming. Changing discs is a pain with the TV. It is. I had the beginning of this year, end of last year, we did a marathon of ER, and I had the first 10 seasons on DVD. And the DVDs were the old ones where it's got some episodes on one side, some episodes on the other side. And I picked them up on Apple TV instead when they're on offer, and sat and streamed them. And I got most of them sat through there. To be fair, on Apple, it was slightly higher resolution, but yeah, it was easier to stream it than keep hold of that collection. Jeremy Carr, I'll go back to TV series, but most of what I have aren't on streaming because they're foreign. And that's a fair enough reason to have those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Francis Shask. There we go. Friday the 13th marathon on every single day. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been a little traditional for me, myself, for the Friday the 13th. I'd watch them at any point, I think, to be fair. Ace Mac says, Watchmen TV show is brilliant, and the new version of the original is out as well, better than the movie with the correct editing. Yeah, I loved the TV show. I thought it was great. In the end, I think I started watching it before you did, didn't I, Glenn? And I think I was a few episodes in, and you asked me what I was thinking of it, and I couldn't pinpoint my thoughts on it because I didn't know what was happening. And you said, oh, you're not enjoying it then? I was like, I can't say I'm not enjoying it. I don't know what's going off at the minute. I'm still a bit lost with it all. And when they wrapped it up, it's like, this all makes sense now, and it's superb.
Yeah. Yeah, you got kind of midway before they started really tying it together. I ended up watching it twice because I watched it all the way through, loved it, recommended it to Lynn, and we sat and watched it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid show. Really good.
Anthony, I'm always making time to watch something, some of my favourite anime shows, and just a movie if there's enough time to squeeze it in.
I think that's the thing. It's we've got to start really making the time, haven't we?
Yeah. Johnny Carrotseed says, watch Clarkson's Farm this week as well. You are not alone.
Good show. Great show.
Brian Smith. Hi, Phil, Glenn. On the retirement thing Glenn mentioned, well, I retired two weeks ago, and I'm still not getting around to watching my Blu-ray. I'm still be lazy, just going to Netflix.
Loads of people, I chat to a few people and they've retired, and they're that busy since they've retired, they don't know how they had time to work. So that's the other thing. We all think we're going to retire and we're just going to go, right, that's it, sit back, let's stick a film on, there we go. And we're probably not going to get that opportunity.
No.
There'll be lots and lots of things to do.
Francis Shesk, I'm old school. I know it's generational, but I enjoy classic video gaming and 80s, 90s horror action films in general. How about you guys? And you guys in the chat as well. Whatever happened to the simple things? Yeah.
Indeed.
John Thompson. John is here to say hello. Certain items collecting dust due to choice paralysis. Any thoughts on my avenue of thought, Glenn?
I still love your terminology of choice paralysis, John. It has stayed with us and probably always will do. So well done, you.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy Carr, I don't know if someone says movie marathon or gaming for 6 hours. I choose films and then complain I don't have time to game. I'd probably say the same. Antonelli Piello, you said you work in finance. Do you make a lot of money, more than you do acting?
I mean, it's a regular paycheck as opposed to acting.
No, but no.
but
if it was like for like time wise, then acting would pay a lot more. But the thing with the acting gigs, it can be a week here or a week there, which it pays well for that week, but it's only a week's pay. Or it could be sort of 4 months somewhere, which then makes it more than a full year of the finance job. It's but being able to get a big job that lasts you for that length of time, it's just quite rare. So
your height with this is kind of a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah,
it gets you roles because you get more niche kind of things because of your height and things, but then you're not regular height, so you don't get kind of regular roles. It's almost like, if they want average size person, they're not going to suddenly go, hey, you know what would be interesting? What if instead of 5'8" it was 7 foot?
Yeah,
wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, I mean,
you always don't drop into that kind of. But like I say, that would be more regular work. But there's a million times many people that are that height, battling for those roles.
The age doesn't always work for me either, because I auditioned for a TV show earlier this year. I don't know if you remember, Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say the TV show, but my agent came back to me and it says, "Oh yeah, the casting director liked you. The whole team really loved you, but they've decided to go younger for the role." And you get silly stuff like that as well from time to time, and it's like, oh goodness me! And that could have been.
You could almost do without them going, "Everybody loved you,"
yeah,
but you still didn't get it.
Yeah, so
you just go, "Yeah, unfortunately, you weren't successful this time."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom Gurdon. Just went to the cinema to see How to Train Your Dragon as a Father's Day treat from my kids. It's an exact copy of the original, but it's also very good. Exact copy, pointless but good.
Oh.
Fair. A lot of the animation real remakes are pretty much like for like now, aren't they? Or have been for quite some time. They've not done anything new. But then again, I don't suppose they particularly need to.
No.
They've got the formula, they know it works, and they just stick real stuff in it.
Like we just said then, realistically, if it is shot for shot, is it pointless?
Yeah. Ask Gus Van Sant.
Well, it's very true. Don't ask Gus Van Sant. I don't think Gus Van Sant would want to even talk about Psycho, to be honest.
No.
Gus, of all your movies, I'd just like to sit down and talk about Psycho with you. Gus, no, come back. Gus, no, don't go out the door. Gus, come back. Yeah.
Tom Gurdon, and watched Deep Cover on Amazon Prime last night. Terrible movie. I saw that pop up and I just thought, what the hell is that? And I read the description and thought, you know what, I might give that a... No, I didn't really. No. I might do, but...
Orlando Bloom and Bryce Dallas Howard were on the radio the other morning, and as much as they were trying to sell the project, you could tell they were struggling themselves.
Yeah.
No, it's a great, real fun caper. It's, yeah. Excellent. Well, we'll definitely watch that then. That should be good.
Sold. Big Jace is in the house as well, finally. Finally, Big Jace. Where the hell have you been? Add another watcher to the list. Good evening, Phil, Ben, and everyone else.
Love it if we were that welcoming all the time. Yeah, account for yourself. Nobody else comment. Yeah. Big Jace, where were you?
Yeah.
Tell us now.
Francis Cheska's The Friday the 13th 85 has always been a gem for me. My favourite, Jason Voorhees, horror classic villain of all times, but Jason Goes to Hell was something, especially the Freddy glove grabs the mask. That was quite the setup and promise for something that took a hell of a long time to come to fruition.
A while to happen, yes. It was an interesting foreshadowing, though, and it was for a long time it was going to be, and I think there was a comic book of it, wasn't it? Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Yes.
And they were always talking that was going to happen afterwards, and obviously Bruce Campbell was up for it and just never came to fruition.
Yeah, I've just seen Nicholas said the quote that you put down earlier. It was from Starman.
Oh, okay. That's what we were talking about.
John Thompson, with regards to TV series not being collectible, the old classics are more collectible than the new ones. For instance, the 3 series of the original Origins Star Trek. There we go. So some of them are. It's hit and miss. It just depends what you like to collect and what you'd like to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas Dickens, I do like the Watchmen animated movie in 2 parts. You can get it cheap on Apple TV. I've been lingering around that, to be honest, Nicholas. I wanted to give that animated a look.
Yeah, I've looked at it as well, but not gone in.
Yeah, John Thompson says, with regards to TV series not being collectible, how about classic sci-fi Star Trek Planet of the Apes and that old Canadian jewel from the early 70s, Starlost? I've no idea. I didn't mean... Did I say that they're not collectible?
I don't know. Did you say they're not collectible?
Kind of. It depends what you watch with the TV shows. The stuff that I watch is readily available on streaming. I think. I hope. I don't know.
You're saying that now, and then something will pop in your head, and you go, "I'll have a look for that." Oh, I can't find it anywhere.
I'm trying to backtrack. I didn't mean that they're not collectible as such. It's just that they never get used, and they're dust magnets for me, because the streaming takes priority for those ones. Stephen S. I have a lot of movies now, and when I have some time on a Saturday, I try to knock at least 2 movies where I can. I'd love to, but I struggle again. Back down to that time aspect of things. It's yeah.
I think when your divorce comes through, I think that'll open things up big time.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I suppose it also brings me around to the question, when I'm talking about not having time to watch so much, why is it that, oh, sugar, I've just clicked the wrong thing, we're in a rush to own things again? Because I'm not getting time to watch these things that I already have in the collection. So why do I want to go out and own them again? It's you have Lethal Weapon in your collection, right?
I do. I have that lovely little box set that you showed a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
with all 4 films in. Last night actually. No. God, years ago. A few years ago. Yeah.
I'm trying to think when I last watched that. It's probably about the same 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. Suddenly, this new box set. Suddenly, I need it. I need the 4K in the collection. That's bloody why. The Blu-rays that's sat there, that's gathering dust. Why do I suddenly have this urge that I want this version? And if I do get this version, do I need that physical copy at 30 quid? Do you need the physical copy at 30 quid? But it's the same with Dark City. I've done this myself. I have Dark City on Blu-ray, yet this is coming out, and suddenly there's that resurgence in interest. And I don't know why, because that copy of Dark City, that's not been viewed in probably 7 or 8 years either. So why suddenly do we need these new ones to be able to sit on the shelf when we haven't got time to go back to the old ones?
Well, I got swept up in Dark City, ordered the new one, sold my previous Blu-ray that went in like a cull because I knew that new one was coming. And then I thought, actually, when was the last time I watched that anyway? And it's streaming, so I think it was on Prime. I saw it was on there. So I've cancelled the new one. So I don't own it at all now. Yeah. And not once have I gone, if only I got a copy of Dark City to watch it.
That's the thing.
There might be a time where I think, I want to watch Dark City, but I'll find another option of watching it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking now. I think, do I need to cancel mine? Because in reality, I've not seen it for 8 years. I've not been in a rush to go back to it until this new edition got announced. Why now? Why now do I want to add this to collection when I know that I've not had the time?
Power of Arrow. That's what it is.
Yeah, I've not had time for the old one, though. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to have time for this one anytime in the next few months.
At least.
I've rushed to pre-order it. But then at the same time, I keep talking about Sinners. And I do want to get that on physical. It's a movie that I enjoyed. And even now I'm thinking, I don't need to pre-order it. Should I just wait until I'm ready to watch it and see how it comes? Because do I want to add things to the collection that I know aren't going to get watched for months, potentially.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I could get it through, and I could find a window of time with the missus and say, let's sit and watch this. And it could be watched in a couple of weeks. But do I want to run that risk? Should I just wait till I 100% have the time?
And the beautiful thing is now, if like your week's looking like it's going to be okay for Saturday, you can order it on Amazon on Friday. It's with you for Saturday, ready for viewing on Saturday night. You can leave it as last minute as that if you wish to.
Yeah. I got another sort of thumbnail here. I can't read what it says, so I forgot what topic I was going to go for around this thing. So I'm just going to bring it up and hope that I haven't already covered it. Yeah, has the free time become less, but we still collect more? Because let's face it, as collectors, the last 2 or 3 years, we've been treated with these boutique labels that have been re-releasing some of our favorites or classic movies. So the releases have been more, and a lot of us have been buying more and replacing more to sit on the shelf. Yet our free time's potentially got less. As I've got older, I've found I've had less and less time to actually sit and watch something. And it's not just down to work, it's down to the other factors like the family or the other things that I'm trying to do, like the YouTube and the editing and the acting stuff and things like that. But I'm still collecting as though I've still got that same time that I did have in my 20s. And do you have less time as you get older, do you think? And why? Why do you have less time?
Why? Work, family stuff. You know, there's various different factors, isn't there? I mean, I'm collecting a lot less, and I still wouldn't say I'm watching a lot more.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not. If I'd have carried on collecting, I would just be amassing piles and piles of films at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not getting around to watching them like I would like to. Like I say, ideally, I'd probably get 3 or 4 films a week watched, I would think.
Yeah.
But I would say on average, it tends to be about 1. But like I say, TV shows seem to be more of our thing. We'll finish one like TV series and then we'll go, right, what we're watching now. Because they're nice little fill-in things.
Yeah.
You can afford to drop 45 minutes or an hour episode of something in somewhere. It's easier to squeeze in. And like you've always said, you know, I've ended up splitting quite a few films, and I know you don't like to do that. I don't like to do it ideally. I would rather sit down and watch a film from start to finish.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is. TV series are just the easy one to go for.
Yeah.
Knowing you can squeeze a few in.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself doing that. I did it last night. I looked at the time and I thought, I don't want to put a 2-hour film on because that's going to take me past my bedtime. And we ended up watching an episode of something I'm going to go into later when we watch what we watch. But I remember, particularly before we had kids, before I started YouTube or anything like that, there used to be days off or weekends when me and the wife would sit and watch literally 3 films in a day. And this was when I used to buy a lot as well, buy all the new releases, keep the list of what pre-orders are coming soon, and I'd have a box at the bottom of the TV and would watch a film in the morning, film in the afternoon, and one in the evening, burn through 3 quite easily. Now I'm struggling to fit that in a week. So where's that time gone? And I was still for a long time collecting as though I was still able to do that at the weekend, and I'm not. So not only am I not watching all of the new things that are coming through, I'm not watching the old stuff that I've got still sat on my shelves here. It's quite sad, really. Quite sad. Wish I had more time for it. Right. Anyway, back to the comments.
Comments away.
Stephen, yes. Yeah, we've done you, Stephen. Sorry. I'll call you out again anyway. John Thompson says, Phil, and what about the original 60s series of Prisoner? Immerse yourself and look for hidden storyline and messages again and again. Well, if you're a fan of the show and that's your best place to watch something on physical, then so be it. But the ones that I gravitate towards, they're not rare. Don't disappear. They're streaming all the time everywhere. And yeah, there's the odd 1 or 2 shows that I may keep on disc, but generally don't go back to them very often. Johnny Carrot, Prime has become the bargain bin and serve student flakes, filling out the platform with anything they can get.
They really have been.
Yeah, although Warfare's just landed on there, and I didn't realise.
Yeah, I'm amazed at some of the films that kind of become, Amazon. What do they reference them as? Not an Amazon special, but whatever it is, like Accountant 2, Amazon Premiere or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Accountant 2's on there, Warfare's on there. There's a few bits kind of coming through.
Yeah.
There's less padding on there than there is Netflix. But then there's a little bit of something for everything on Netflix.
There is.
A little bit of something for everybody, should I say.
Yeah, my kids always manage to find something on there. If it's trash like Is It Cake or the Jurassic series and things like that, they always easily find something on Netflix.
I remember clicking on Netflix and I thought, I'll watch that. That looks stupid. And that was The Floor is Lava.
Yes, they've watched that as well.
Couldn't wait for the next season to come along. Yeah, ridiculous. Loved it. Would have happily gone on it.
Big Jace was having a haircut as it's too damn hot in this heat. Crazy Vultures. Crazy. I thought I was the only one that's been experiencing this phenomena of buying movies while not being able to watch the disc. Life has getting in the way for the past 8 months. I can say I'm excited to finally get watching all of these. Yeah, it's good when you can slow down. I mean, I've got the potential that I could be working away for a couple of weeks, and I've got the idea in my head that somehow I'm going to magically get a load more time to be able to sit in the evening and actually watch some films or TV shows as well. So I'm not sure of the whole situation at the minute, but yeah, I'm hoping to use some free time between today's filming to be able to sit and watch some of my backlog. But it won't be the physical backlog. I'll be back to digital for a bit. So yeah, let the physical digital argument rage on a little bit while we talk about it.
Yeah, well, I'm away for a couple of weeks, but we're sharing the house with friends. So it's not just, I'm going to have free time to be able to watch things.
Yeah.
It's also, you have to allow for other people and what they want to watch and things like that. I've also got a couple of books that I keep meaning to read. I'm probably going to take them away with me as well. So, and then we'll be doing socializing-y stuff and out and about and visiting places and things. So none of it's probably going to happen. No. I'll probably get through half a book. That'll be about it.
You get it in your head.
Yeah.
Get it in your head a certain way, and then it just doesn't pan out.
It won't pan out.
Francis Shesk says, I've been watching a lot of The Thing, the 1985 to 2011, but the OG original film is a non-stop horror. It is indeed. Johnny Carrot, he'd seen Space Above and Beyond, 90s sci-fi show, just on TV. Had that, but had to sail the seas. Fair. Joe McCall, don't forget to like the stream. Pineapple pizza. Woody says, I watched Lethal Weapon 3 months ago. It was okay, dated if anything, but I'll never watch it again. So I've made some space and got rid of all 4 DVDs. That's a big movie. Lethal Weapon is a series that I will go back to 100%.
Yeah, I think every single one has something appealing about it. I know people frowned upon Lethal Weapon 4, but it's good stuff.
Really enjoyed it. It's one of them franchises that when that 4th one hit, there were so many nice moments that just paid homage to or gave a payback or whatever to the previous films. There's things that you knew about the characters, and seeing things come to fruition in the 4th film, it was just nice to see, and it was good for the fans, I thought, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, on 3 or after 3? Is it 1, 2, 3, and then or 1, 2, and then 3? That sort of stuff. Love it.
That sort of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. John Thompson, unless it's a really favourite movie or TV series you really want, there's no point in paying top whack on price, and unless it's an exclusive and limited release, you can always pick it up cheaper later. Indeed, and that's something that I need to keep in my head because I am guilty of it, like with the Dark City. Silly boy. Silly boy. Silly boy. Anthony Piello, or arrows always shooting straight at your heart.
It's very true.
Yeah. Jolly85, I just pre-ordered Human Traffic from BFI on 4K. It's a classic.
A few people mention Human Traffic on here.
It's not a classic for me. My wife loves it, but not for me. I couldn't do the Human Traffic thing.
See what you did.
Yeah.
I can genuinely say it's one I've never watched.
Yeah.
So couldn't tell you.
No. Jeremy Carr says, as I've gotten older, I've had more time to watch. Well, good for you, Jeremy.
Yeah, good for you, Jeremy. Look at me. I'm Jeremy Carr. I can watch everything. Unbelievable. Thanks for your support, though, Jeremy.
Asim Akhtar picked up a batch of low-budget horror films from a charity shop. One of them was Husk from 2010. Great Scarecrow yarn. Highly recommended. Scarecrows never disappoint. Also recommended 1985
film Scarecrows.
Okay, John Thompson. There we go, Glenn. You read this one because I can't pronounce. 4K is the new...
I don't know what that word is. Panache?
Until those 8K and 16K then your eyesight has degraded and you will be happy with a DVD or Blu-ray release.
Well, you know, in 20 years' time, we'll probably just be like Johnny Mnemonic and just kind of glasses on, plug in, and that'll be it. We'll just kind of watch something that way and it won't really matter.
Yeah.
Because the screen will be like that big, but it won't matter because it'll be that close to your pupils.
Can you imagine? Can you remember Strange Games with the Strange Days with the chip at the bottom of the head, and you saw through someone else's eyes? Can you imagine Hardcore Henry being available in something like that?
Yeah, I think that every time I see, we'll often just have in the background something like Fail Army on YouTube or whatever, and there's so many people with the VR headsets, you know. Yeah. Jumping off what they think is a building and then just like crashing into the TV unit and all that kind of stuff. And it's amazing how it goes. I'm surprised there's not been a massive crossover already with movies on VR headsets and that being pushed down an avenue. I can see that being a thing.
Yeah. I think so. There was something along those lines, weren't there? Eventually.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd be able to sit down with the kids. You can watch something on the TV. They've both got like a VR headset on watching Ninja Turtles or whatever. And you're all just doing your own thing, watching your own thing, and you're all still sat in the same room together.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to blast through some comments in a moment.
Blast through.
Charlie H5, mainly it's the internet that's the biggest distraction for me from watching as many films as I used to. YouTube especially is a distraction. Yeah. I think social media in general steals a lot of my time when it shouldn't. Woody, I watch a lot more TV movies in the winter just because it's dark all the time. This time of year, it's a lot more music, reading, and in the garden. AJ Pink, usually do 3 to 4 a week, but not always in the mood, as you touched on before. Johnny Carrot, Father's Day. Yeah, bring one of those is why I've no free time. Yeah. Tokyo 3, watching a movie split in 2 sections is better than having a film collection that you never get around to watching. TV series are also a much bigger time commitment. Absolutely. Jeremy Carr says masterpiece theatre with Phil and Glenn. Brian Smith, find myself falling asleep a lot while watching movies. Do others have that problem? I occasionally do, Brian. Mine tends to go in waves. I could be 2 or 3 days where I'm falling asleep on the sofa at 8 o'clock, and then I'll go a few weeks without bothering me, but I tend to use it's ZMA, which is a zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B12 supplement, which helps me have a more solid night's sleep, and then an iron supplement the next morning, and that tends to help alleviate the falling asleep in the evenings. It's mainly the vitamins, the metals, and things like that I struggle with, I think. Nicholas Dickens. They've done a few Jason versus Freddy comics. I believe the fact they made Alien versus Predator in comics and video games, which were hugely popular, showed there was interest in the versus idea.
Was it Dark Horse Comics? I think like all of those were. Yeah. They turned out some really good comics, to be honest.
There we go. Clark of Many. Hi all. Watch pile is 75 centimeters tall. 58 titles unwatched. Tra-la-la-la. More arriving next week. I added that last bit.
Look at all that time you used up actually getting a tape measure out and measuring that pile.
Yeah.
You could have watched the opening credits of something.
See if you can build up to your height in unwatched titles. I bet I can if I pulled them off my shelf. Yeah.
Or just to be lazy, you could just lie down next to your shelf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy says, I don't have children, so it gets the free time he wants. And also, Jeremy consumes and obeys.
Yeah, I don't have kids though, but I still don't have time at the minute at all.
Jeremy,
I've got 2 dogs, and I can't blame them.
Family and children. I have whiskey, cheese, coffee, and a cat.
Nice.
Nicholas Dickens, I do fall asleep, Brian. Spend ages trying to pick up a film to watch, and then I fall asleep watching the bloody thing. Johnny Carotid, VR headsets are apparently the way to still watch 3D. Still not got around to it yet, even though I had a headset for ages.
Yeah.
Slipknot Sen says, seen both Scarecrow movies. 85 Scarecrows has a really interesting production history. Clock of many, but not good. Bad and ugly delayed. Thanks, Arrow. Well, at least it's a replacement disc program. Dead to be rare books. Oh, look at these Arrow films. Oh, it's just dust on top of the cases. I've seen most of my films. And the thing that I'm mentioning with people not getting time to watch movies, I see it quite often across the social media groups, people selling chunks of their collection because they need it to fund something or they've overspent and need it to pay the bill. And more often than not, the collections... Sorry, I can hear a weird buzzing. The collections that they're selling, I was worried that something was going to blow up. The collections that they're selling, most of it is
new and sealed.
Yeah, new and sealed.
Yeah.
And
can you still hear the buzzing, Phil?
Yeah.
Is there a bee in your ear?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, most of it's still sealed. So I consider that other people probably suffer the same thing with. It's either they suffer the same thing with time, or they've just collected the stuff that they're not interested in just to have the box on the shelf. And I can't decide which it is, whether it's just not had the time and it's come to a point that they think, I'm just not going to watch this, or if they're just collecting for the sake of it. I can't quite decide. Yeah.
That's my input to what you've just said.
Thank you. I was completely thrown off by the buzzing. But John Thompson says, with regards to the TV show being time-consuming to watch, there's an annoying trend whereby a lot of the series can be condensed. More killer, less filler episodes. That's my examples put out there. But yeah, I think the procedural stuff tends to suffer with that more so. They've got the story arc episodes, and then most of the stuff is literally just filler. And I see that on the recent rewatch I've been doing of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I see that a lot, that there's plenty of filler episodes. That most of them are just absolute trash. But with regards to the buzzing, Woody can hear it too. There is a weird buzzing. Darren G, Jeremy can hear the buzz. And yeah, it's not just me.
Okay, I can't hear the buzz.
Mad Vinyl movies sound as bad at times with a loud buzz. Sorry, Mike Outland. But yeah, and I'm losing my train of thought quite easily at the moment. I apologise to everyone. But in relation to not being, it's not worth collecting as much, I'm really starting to think, no, it's not worth collecting as much as we have been doing, because it's not getting used, or we've not got time to get it used. Have you gone to sleep?
No, bear with. I'm just, I'm wondering if I know what the buzzing is.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I'm just messaging Lynn in the other room just to check. So, Lynn, I've messaged you. Hi.
It's not worth collecting as much because we're just not getting time to watch the things. And it's something that I've realised the last few months because I've not picked up as many titles. The ones that I have picked up, they're sat down here, still pretty much unused to their full potential. And what about your latest purchases, Glenn? Have you find yourself watching them, or because they've been less, have you had the time to watch them?
The last thing I got through was Roadhouse.
Yeah.
And that is still sealed, still on the shelf.
Did you need to pick it up?
Has the buzzing stopped?
I think so.
Oh, buzzing started again.
Don't worry, Karen.
Yeah, okay. No, I think it's my end. I think I know what it is. Yeah, Roadhouse. I mean, that was a replacement disc as well. I had like a German import, and it sat there. And I don't think I ever watched the German import once.
No,
because I've got it on Apple. It's on my downloads. It's sat there ready to go. And if I thought about, I want to watch Roadhouse, that's exactly what I'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Johnny Carrot says nothing with Buffy in it is trash. It's pure goodly goodness.
Pure goodly goodness.
I just watched. I'm on the first season, Johnny, watching it with my little boy, and we just got to the zoo episode with the demonic hyenas, and that was a pretty filler episode. It wasn't
excuse me. I'm going to see if I can sort this buzzing out because I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Bear with me. Yes, I'm wearing horrible tracksuit bottoms. What are they?
Woody, yeah, buzzing stopped for the time being. Clark of Many, is the popcorn ready, Glenn? Slipknot says buzzing frog. John Thompson, with regards to not collecting as much, do we go through phases where we pick up everything, then find we can't watch them, and then have a clear out, and then curate, being more careful with pickups? I think that's what I'm going through at the minute, John, to be fair. I used to pick up everything that I could, and I was all right with it for a time. I didn't want to get rid of anything because I remember you mentioned it, and it's like, no, it's my collection. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's the things that I've built up on. I don't need to get rid of it. And then as we've gone on a little bit more, it's come to the point where, yeah, this is overflowing now. This is becoming a problem. And looking at the video, looking at the movies that I have, doing the videos on my collecting and habits, I've realized that, yeah, I need to have a clear out. And yeah, I need to curate. And as I move on through my videos with the topics, I realize more and more that I don't even need the things that I still thought I needed to keep hold of even after clearing out a bunch. So I've got things on the shelf now that I'm looking at. Things like the Arrow release of Cohen and Tate. It was a film that I read the description of, and you know what? That appealed to me. It sounds a decent movie. I picked
really good reviews of it and things, and it's one I've floated around, but
yeah, and it's sat on my shelf since it's been released because I might have picked it up in Arrow sale, but I know it's probably been a good 3 or 4 years. And it's been sat on my shelf, sealed up for that length of time. And you know what? The film's actually on Amazon Prime anyway. So could I just go away with watching it on Amazon Prime? Do I need to keep it on my shelf? Or if it came down to it, does it matter if it's still there?
Well, that's been a catalyst with me getting rid of a few things, to be honest. I know something is sat on my shelf, and then I'll find it, and it's on Amazon Prime, and I still don't click on it to watch it.
Yeah.
Even though it's there, it's readily available. It's still another title where I've gone, I'll watch it another time.
Yeah.
Right, you don't need to own it then. You don't need to own it. Own things that you are going to watch. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I've said to you before when I've done the Cullen things, everything I've got rid of, I've not missed a single title. I probably couldn't tell you half of what they were. They've gone, and that's it. I've not thought twice about them. And since our live stream last week, I have not been anywhere near those shelves once this whole week.
No.
At all.
No.
So they're kind of pointless. I'll be glad when they're not pointless. I'll be glad when there's a week where I'm just kind of, right, what should I watch now? And I go over there and I get something else off. And
yeah. I think there's still plenty of
scope. I don't know when that's going to be.
I think behind you there, I think there's still plenty of scope for you to go to your shelves and have a look through and think, oh, yeah, and pull something off. There's still plenty of choice there for you to make slight little rediscoveries, if you like. You probably know what's there, but it's the slight surprise sometimes when you go to the shelf and think, oh, yeah.
But that's going to waste a lot of time as well when we get over there and we just start pulling things off.
Yeah.
Rather than just be pulling things off, we should be watching films, and that's where we're going wrong.
I'll tell you, as I did the decluttering video that I did a while ago, I went through some of the shelves, and there were a few titles that I grabbed to put into a new section of things to be watched. And there's stuff in there that I've literally had for 10 or more years that I've not watched. And I could grab one now and show you. Do you want me to grab one now?
You don't need to. There's one over your shoulder.
Well, yeah, there's one there. Yeah. Well, it was War Inc. With John Cusack.
Yeah.
How long ago was that released? Because I think I got it when it was pretty new, and never watched it. And I
also
think
imported it, and that was off the back of kind of, you know, pretty much the same gang as Grosse Pointe Blank. We both love Grosse Pointe Blank. Few people said it was almost an unofficial sequel, so we're like, oh yeah, we'll definitely go in for that.
I don't know if I avoided it because I was worried that it was going to be a real weak in comparison to Grosse Pointe Blank. I'm not sure. I don't know why I never sort of watched it immediately, but that was released in 2008. So even if I know it was quite close to release that I got the Blu-ray, but even if it was 2010 that I got the Blu-ray, that's 15 years that's been sat here and watched.
Yeah.
It could have been rotting away by now. It might not be even still be playable.
Yeah.
But it's stupid things like that. It's like, why the hell did I have that in the collection? Really? Because I never went to it.
You know why you have it in the collection? Because you're a collector. That's why.
Exactly. It was a new film, and it had links to something that we both really enjoyed. Just having a look if it's streaming anywhere, but I can't see it on streaming actually at the minute. So that's
thank God you've got a physical copy of it.
I'm going to check if it's out of print.
Yeah, watch it tonight, Phil. Watch it tonight.
Yeah. So I just think, why do we all have time for our collections in general, not just as we get older, just in general? And why bother collecting the physical media if I'm not going to if it's not going to get used?
We have them all because, you know, it's named after that guy. There's a specific thing, and he named it just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of him. That's why we collect all of these things.
Just on the off chance.
Just in case. He's the man. He's the
one thing 15 years ago, collecting the things that went unwatched. 15 years ago was a little bit different. Streaming wasn't as strong of a thing, but now I think there's even less reasons to get everything because it's all clickable. It's all easy. If you know what I mean. But
I know what you mean. Anyway,
I think we've sort of gone through that topic, so I'm going to move on to what did we watch? Because I know I've already mentioned I've not watched a movie this week. But did you watch any movies this week?
I have watched 1.5 movies this week. I noticed somebody mentioned it earlier, and I can't remember who it was. I do apologise, but Clown in a Cornfield.
Yes, Slipknot fan asked about that earlier. I was
Slipknot fan, was it? Okie dokie. Yeah. Watched it. I actually quite liked it.
Did you?
It was all right, yeah. I think so many people kind of won't go in for it because of how successful Terrifier has been. And they'll go, oh, it's just another, you know, they're trying to cash in on the clown thing and what have you. It's a very different take. It's very tongue-in-cheek as well. It's very self-aware. The performances are okay in it and things, and there's a couple of okay kills, and it's an all right watchable thing. It's one of those, if you've got time to watch it, great, give it a look. You'll get to the end of it and go, yeah, it was all right. Yeah. That's kind of it. That's the level of review I'd give it. It's enjoyable enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then half a movie was The Amateur with Rami Malek.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad. I think a lot of my problem with it is I'm not a massive fan of him.
Right. Yeah.
I don't find him that convincing at all. He's a little too laid back in every role and just is a bit. Yeah, he was all right. He was okay, but like I say, I'm only kind of halfway. Well, I'm probably more than halfway through that.
Fair.
We were intending to watch the end of it, and then Lynn's phone blew up with a new order and what have you for her portrait business and what have you. So that kind of ended up. So she said, "Oh, just while I'm sorting this, just watch something else." And then half hour had gone by, and the moment had passed to kind of go back into it.
Well, this week I went to the cinema and watched Ballerina.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And,
I can't believe you didn't invite me.
I did. We both went to see it.
I was there as well.
I did watch the film this week. because we went to see Ballerina together.
We did.
Not together, but we were both there at the same time. We went together like that. But
no, we went together.
Yeah, we went together.
We held hands throughout. We shared a tub of popcorn. It was very romantic.
The Ballerina the movie, I thought it was okay. It was okay. Really enjoyed the action. I think the guys at 87 North do an absolutely fantastic job with the action, but I wasn't thrilled with the choice of, I forgot the actress's name.
Anna de Armas.
Yeah, Anna de Armas.
Yeah, she's not a leading lady, I'm afraid, at all. No. She's eye candy. She's fine as a co-star. She can't carry a movie.
There's not much,
not enough.
Not a lot that's actually overly memorable about the movie. I'm just trying to think of the points that we came up with when we came out to the cinema. But it was another one of those action movies that it's far too long, really. Once you've seen the action sequences a few times, it's like, yeah, okay, it's enough for this film now. Let's just wrap it up. And I think it's storylines that we're kind of familiar with, but have been done a little bit better.
Yeah, and there were story avenues that kind of went nowhere and didn't really matter. Shouldn't have even been in there. They were clearly there as like padding, to try and give some sort of substance to what didn't have or need substance, really.
Yeah,
the set pieces in there, and I've said to you before, John Wick has kind of lost it a bit. The first two, great. After that, I don't think they were necessary at all. But what I did quite like with Ballerina was it wasn't just gun fu and stuff like that. There was a whole segment with like just grenades, and then you had the flamethrower thing and what. The flamethrower segment is probably the most memorable bit of the whole film, I think.
I'd had enough at that point in the action scenes.
Yeah, but one of my big things, which I said to you as well, was normally it's fairly... I feel like with the early John Wick films, the majority of it was Keanu.
Yeah.
Now he's a little bit older. It was kind of in the close-up thing, he was quite slow, and then they cut to a wide shot, and then suddenly his stunt double was like 4 times as fast as he was. And I felt that way with Anna de Armas as well. There was a lot where it was quite clear it wasn't her, because it was actually far too dangerous to put an actress in that position, kind of thing. Yeah. So overall, is it 5 out of 10, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. The more time that goes on, the less I want to really revisit it. I'm not saying I disliked it, but it's just pretty run-of-the-mill now for these sort of action films.
I think I wouldn't put Lynn through it because I think she'd be bored rigid. I would literally probably show her completely out of context the flamethrower sequence.
Yeah.
Just because it looked quite interesting. It was something a bit different, and it actually felt dangerous while they were doing it, kind of thing. But other than that, I'm not particularly bothered about it.
I would love to see an action director like Chad Stahelski team up with a decent director of a thriller or a drama or something like that, just to help with the story aspects to it and building the characters and having that bit. I think if Stahelski could build on those characters and the storylines just a little bit more, I think it'd add so much more to his movies, because they are very heavily focused on the stunt work, and it's almost becoming gratuitous in a way. Just too many, too often. As good as they are, there's a certain amount of overkill that a 2-hour-plus movie, I don't need as much action. Let the action.
It is a stunt show strung together by a weak-ass storyline that actually goes nowhere and you don't really care about, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Well, but no, Anna de Armas is just not good enough for that, I'm afraid.
Yeah. The boy can direct action. And I mean, I think the problem with Anna de Armas as well is the storyline and things like that drew direct comparisons to the Black Widow story in the Marvel movies. And it was a storyline that Scarlett Johansson kind of did. And did that a little bit better, I thought. But anyway, AJ Pinks also, AJ's comments spurred me on to remembering I watched Ballerina, which clearly forgettable. I watched Ballerina and is it Phoenician Scheme this week at the cinema?
Yeah.
Both pretty good. Also watched Blade Runner 2049 for the first time, which was amazing.
Blade Runner 2049 doesn't get enough love, to be honest. It's a fantastic film.
Slipknot fan said, saw Clown in the Cornfield. It reminded me of a 90s horror.
Yeah,
Not always
it definitely leaning towards that way. And like I say, it didn't take itself too seriously. It was fairly tongue-in-cheek in places, and it was good. It was all right. It was entertaining. And 90 minutes, so skipped by nicely.
John Robinson watched The Prosecutor with Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen is bloody awesome. That's action. American Pie 2 and The Nice Guys. Oh, that sounds like some nice 88 films and second sight releases there, John. Have you gone for the limited editions? That's what I'm interested in. Nicholas Dickens said Dark Horse did a great Alien, Predator and Terminator comics.
Yeah, they did really good comics.
No movies, but keep hearing about Clown in the Cornfield, so might check it out. Although I did watch some new John Pertwee Doctor Who Blu-ray, sold the DVDs, my weekly episode of Dead City and some anime.
Busy week, Jeremy.
Yeah. Clock of Many, here we go. Die Hard, great movie. Special features were poor. An American Gangster was awesome.
What a strange time of year to watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Asim Akhtar, Karate Kid Legends, Beyond Lame, and such a letdown. Jeremy, like the stream right now.
Do it. Do it now. What's wrong with you? Do it.
Asim just said, stick with Cobra Kai. Slipknot, heard Dangerous Animals is good. And
I heard that.
Jai Courtney is great in it. John Thompson, Ballerina took far too long to get going, but no doubt keeps Wick fans going until John Wick 5. Too much padding and yawning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darren G. First John Wick is still the best for me. 2 hours is enough for an action movie. The sequels go way too long.
Yeah.
And that's why I haven't watched John Wick 4 yet. I'm just worried about that length of the movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first two. The third one could have done without. Started the fourth, got about half hour in. I just thought I've actually already watched this film.
Yeah,
by watching the previous three. So sorry, go on.
AJ says Ballerina 6 out of 10, fun but wasn't special. Yeah. Anthony is in the middle of watching the whole Speed Racer series and watched the 1975 Disney movie Escape from Witch Mountain.
Wow.
Jerry Cheers here as well. Good evening, Jerry. Evening,
hey, Jerry.
Collectors. Clock of Money. What was the buzzing, Glenn? Just what exactly is going on in that other room?
I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and Lynn decided to do some washing before we went, and I think it might have been the tumble dryer.
Fair.
How very British and very boring. I'd love to say it was an exciting reply, but it was that.
YouTuber Adam J. Pestridge. Hey guys, I'm currently going through my entire collection to give them reviews on my channel. Going through about 3 films a week, so the time I have. Fair. I hope it's going well for you, Adam. Big J says apparently they want to make a Kane film with Donnie Yen. Yeah,
they are doing apparently, aren't they? And they've already said Keanu will not be featuring in that. He felt so shoehorned into Ballerina as well.
Yeah. I think I said this, that his sequences almost felt like they were potentially reshoots. Just shoehorned in there just to have Wick support the movie. But anyway, the other thing I watched, I started Day of the Jackal last night, the Eddie Redmayne thing. We watched the first episode, which was fine. It was okay. I'm waiting for it to get going. I've only given it 1 episode, so
it gets better.
It's not one I feel like I might dump out at. It feels like there's a lot more to come from it. Yeah,
there is. My only thing that I'm not a fan of, I can't think of her name now. His adversary in it.
Right.
God, she was in Bond.
Yes,
she took over the 007.
Lashana
Lynch, thank you. Yeah. I'm just, as I said about Rami Malek earlier, kind of thing, which is probably, I mean, it might be a No Time to Die thing. I don't know, but I'm not convinced by her either. I don't think she's that great.
That's fair. But like I said, I've watched one episode, so I wouldn't like to comment on that thus far. I don't think she's been given enough to chew on yet.
Eddie Redmayne is surprisingly good in it. I wasn't sure about him going in, but he's actually very convincing.
That's fair. But other than that, watching this week, I've actually sunk some time into reading a book. And it just brings me to a question again, not only with movies, but with books, the physical versus digital in another medium. And I'm kind of swinging towards digital for my books. This book that I read here, I read it on my Kindle. And it's just handier to have around rather than the main book. Having it on the Kindle is just so much easier to get a couple of minutes in here and there. And I've been enjoying it on that. But yeah, I've read this kind of weird book called Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is a lit RPG, apparently. I've got like 5% of the book left to read, but it's a really weird thing. It reads at times it's like a instruction manual for a role-playing game for PlayStation or whatever. But yeah, it's at times a fun read. At other times I think, I don't know if I can be bothered with this anymore.
A, it sounds awful. B, give me a book over a Kindle anytime. I find Kindles cold, clinical. I get that they're practical. I get what you're saying, but I just don't enjoy them in any way. And you made that worse by going, I've got about 5% left.
Yeah. It doesn't,
rather than going, I've got 2 chapters left or something like that. And it just, no, not for me.
I can't see the chapters, and I miss having page numbers. I can't see page numbers on there either. But so I've got physical books, and I do enjoy a physical book, but there's just been something to do with reading that I've found it a hell of a lot easier to find the time to read on a Kindle. And I think it's because it's so much smaller. It's so much easier just to slap in my pocket or whatever, wherever I'm going, and just have it to hand quite easily. So,
well, one of my books I'm taking away with me is this one. Haunted. Bit of chalk. It's one that I've not read, and it sounds quite disgusting, really. Nauseating, darkly funny, and brutally graphic. I mean, it's got me written all over it, really. So that's one that's definitely going with me. Paperback book. Look at that. Oh, yeah. How it should be. How it should be, Phil.
Did you start reading the one I got you at Christmas? The short stories from...
That's the other book I'm taking away with me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It is. It is.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's upstairs already, ready to be packed. That's all. But this is down
I'm interested in how that is. It's short stories that are like curated by Jordan Peele.
Correct.
That was it. I couldn't remember,
indeed.
But I know it's on the wish list also. But we'll get there. Woody says, for me, the John Wick movies were good till number 3. Number 4 was a yawn fest. The Door was pointless waste of time. Who the hell signed this rubbish off to go to the cinema?
Can I just call out Jeremy Carr as well, because he has tried to push a joke twice and it's not been highlighted, and I feel bad for Jeremy. It was just the buzzing type of thing, and he was referencing Muhammad Ali, as in float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Okay. Jeremy, I've got your back. I did see it. I did read it.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Adam says, can't beat the real book. I've been reading loads of Stephen King books. Again, for review. My eyes are falling off, though.
You've come to the right place.
There's a few King books that I want to get read or add to it, and one of them, I think I would like the actual physical book, but I think it's just going to be so much easier on the Kindle. But it's one that's going to be further down the line, which was the 11/22/63.
Yeah. It's a thick, hefty book, that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeremy, when the apocalypse happens, books will be the new currency.
There's a Twilight Zone episode of that with Burgess Meredith, where I can't remember the whole context of it, but like the world ends, but there's a bit of a library that's still left, and it's like the most heartbreaking end of an episode because as he finally sits down to start the books, he breaks his only pair of glasses.
Nice.
And then can't read any of the book. I can't remember the context of the episode, but I remember it quite vividly in other ways.
Fair. Big J says, I rewatched Godzilla X Kong last night. I need to watch Godzilla X Kong New Empire next.
You really like them, don't you?
Yeah,
well,
I did.
You like watching them.
New Empire I wasn't too happy with. AJ Pink says, Kindle saves space as well. Tell that to the movie fans, digital being space saver. They'll have none of it. It's not
physical collector weirdos.
Jerry Cheer says, just watched Warfare from Alex Garland on Prime now. It was awesome. I wish I knew it was on last night. It may have gotten watched.
Yeah, you did highlight it to me earlier, didn't you? And go, oh God, I didn't see that was on there.
Yes,
it's one I've been wanting to watch for a while. I've had the option to watch it for a while, and war films are one genre that I've just got to be in the right frame of mind for.
John Thompson says, dryer motor needs an electrical interference suppressor filter fitting and get the flux sorted. Only joking. Only man to do is a good plug for dryers, though. Blue Corner, bunch of haters. John Wick 4 is great. John Wick ranking 1, 4, 3, 2. There we go.
Okay.
Adam says, reading 1922 at the moment. It's a good one. And so is that one that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
11/22/63. Jerry says, great Twilight episode. He gets time to read.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was, I've got my to-watch pile here as well, actually. This is for when I finished the last 5% of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I've got a selection of stuff to think about. Tokyo Vice, Yellowface, Red Rising, Midnight Library, or a couple of Stephen King options there.
Yeah, well, the beautiful thing is, I obviously give you that If It Bleeds. That's 4 short stories. One you obviously need to avoid is Good Luck Chuck.
Yes.
You know, don't go in for that, because although, I'm hoping Good Luck Chuck is one of them very rare things where the film is as good, if not better. You know, thankfully it's a short story, so I have faith in Mike Flanagan. He obviously adores Stephen King and will do the right thing by it, and everybody seems to love it so far. So I've got faith.
I've just read Charlie 85. I'm in the middle of reading Laurie Lee's Moment of War from a real book. I'm not sure what that is, but I will look it up. But one thing I'm kind of interested in, I know that we talk a lot of physical media, and we don't really touch on books or other physical media too much. Who watching the stream, do many of you read books at all? It's something that I've been trying to do more in an effort to reduce screen time on my phone. I've been trying to read a bit more. I just wondered if anyone else is into that sort of stuff. If we carry on jabbering about books, is it going to put you off watching, or do you like hearing about it? Because I could tell you about one that I've read recently, which I really enjoyed, which is made into a movie that should be out next year. But I don't know if anyone's interested in Phil's book reviews rather than physical media's bad Phil. But yeah, I was just wondering that. I know you enjoy talking books as well, don't you, Glenn, sometimes?
Yeah, I love talking books.
I'm not saying we're going to do it every week, but...
No. I think, like you've just said, you've read something and it's being made into a film. You've obviously got that movie connection in that respect.
Yeah. Is that something I was thinking about with doing, but I thought, shall I look at doing this on the channel? Because there's certain books I want to read and certain books I've recently read that do tie into the movies. And I thought, do I make a video for YouTube of me covering some of these books I read? Do a challenge of reading sort of Heat 2 or whatever else that's connected to a movie and make it as part of a YouTube video.
My concern with you doing that, which is something I've just touched upon, is 99% of the time, the film is never as good as the book.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you're better off not reading the book, watching the film, and you probably enjoy the film more. Many times I've read a book and then you go and see the film and you think, oh, why did they change that? And why did they cast that person and things? I remember years ago when I was on holiday reading The Pelican Brief. It was after The Firm had come out and Grisham was like at his peak.
Yeah.
And I read The Pelican Brief And Denzel Washington's character in The Pelican Brief, in the book, is an overweight, white, ginger-haired man. And then suddenly Denzel Washington is cast. But they completely changed the ending of that. I really liked the ending of the book. And you watch the film and you're like, oh, God, that's just to appease everybody. And it's all happy. Everything's great.
It's made me laugh because they did a similar thing with The Bone Collector. And Denzel Washington was suddenly cast. Because in the book, it's quite a sort of timid, bookish white guy that's suddenly Denzel Washington. That's quite a powerful, obviously big, confident guy. And it was
so are we saying film productions and producers and things like that are the problem, or Denzel Washington is the problem?
Definitely Denzel.
Does Denzel Washington ruin every single book? Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
We need to be careful.
No, to be honest, the Bone Collector movie I actually quite enjoyed. It was fine. The casting didn't particularly matter. It did the character justice, I think, or gave him a new sort of layer. I was fine with it. And to be honest, when I read the subsequent books out of that Lincoln Rhyme series, I actually pictured Denzel more than the original description from the book. So he made it his, and he did really well for that, to be fair.
I've done that when I've read books after the fact, like reading the novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
As I'm reading it in like DiCaprio's voice and, seeing those actors in those parts and things like that.
Yeah.
That adds another layer in a different way. But at least with that, Tarantino ain't going to go, I'm going to give it a completely different ending again.
Absolutely. Why not? He can.
It changes history, doesn't it?
Where are we? John Allison says the Kindle with the colour screen is great. The regular black and white one is depressing. Adam says read books, listen to music, and watch films, all for review on the channel. Very good, Adam. Pimp your own channel here again.
I was just going to say, Adam, I feel like you're trying to sell yourself ever so slightly.
So if anyone wants to go and check Adam's YouTube page, you can find him under Adam J. Pestridge, YouTuber. I
feel like Adam might not be here next week because Adam will have just come on because he'll be promoting himself on somebody else's channel next week.
No, to be it is added a bit, Glenn. Leave him alone. You're cruel and you're nasty.
No, shut up.
AJ Pink says we're here for fill in general. Very good, AJ. Thank you. I hope if I do that sort of video, I hope I can find an interesting story or interesting angle to what I want to talk about.
I like that AJ's not here for me. That stood out, AJ. That stood out.
John Robinson says, I have a fair collection of books, but don't seem to find time to read much nowadays. Oh, down to the time thing. With books as well. And it's something that I struggled with as well.
Adam, we're joking with you. Don't worry. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, you find our sense of humour doesn't quite catch with everyone. Apologies.
No, it's all good.
MRBO Jangles, currently rereading The Wheel of Time. That's one I haven't read. Woody says I read about 3 books a month this time of year. Winter time around one a month.
Wheel of Time, is that the one that's been made into a TV show with Rosamund Pike?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure who it is. Anyway, Jeremy Carr, I read, usually on a day off away from everyone, no interruptions. I'm down to listen to book reviews. I'm not sure we get full-on book reviews, but I think a little bit of coverage is there. I'm not sure. I've never really done reviews of anything anyway. I've given thoughts, but I don't like reviewing it. I don't think I could give a professional review. But I'll give thoughts. John Allison, book reviews are welcome. Okay. Charlie 85, read occasionally. Wouldn't mind hearing about more books. Very good. Rare books. I make sure to read early in the morning before anything else and try getting myself into the habit. Yeah, I've been trying to as well.
Yeah, I watch on the odd occasion. There's a TV show on BBC Two called Between the Covers, presented by Sarah Cox, and she has like 4 celebrity guests on every week. and they have to talk about a book that they love or inspired them, or just something that they've always read or whatever.
Yeah.
And they are also given there's a selection of 4 books by various authors, and those books are sent out to those celebrities, and they have to read them so they can discuss them in the circle type thing. It's quite good. It's made me look for a few books that I hadn't even heard of.
Yeah.
That it's nice hearing, might be inspiring. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I might wait till close to the film, but one of the books I recently read that I thoroughly enjoyed was Project Hail Mary, which is being turned into the movie with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
But I might save my thoughts on that until closer to the time. But it's a really good sci-fi book, and potentially the less you know about it, the better. It's written by the guy that wrote The Martian. So it gave me a very firm thought on what Project Hail Mary was going to be, and it kind of gave me something more that I wasn't expecting. It was less, I don't want to spoil anything, less factually based for certain aspects of it, and it just made for a better movie for that. And I
think there was more of a fantasy element to it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be shown in the trailer or anything, and I don't want to just spout things out and spoil the thing in advance, but it was a really solid read. And it's very much, I don't know how the structure of the film's going to work, but in the book, it starts off on a spaceship. He wakes up on his own with no memory of who he is, why he's there, and he's got to try and figure out this thing as it's going along on this ship in the middle of space. Where
I think that's the general synopsis of what they've announced for the film anyway, so I don't think you've spoiled anything there.
No, I've not spoiled anything there.
All right.
It says it goes further on. There's more things revealed as we go further in, so I won't go any further than that till I know what's going to be trailered and things. So, but yeah, it was a really nice read. What he says, I agree, Glenn, books are better. For a start, you conjure up an image in your head of the characters and places from the description in the book. Lots gets cut out because it has to go into a 90-minute film.
Yeah.
AJ says, goes without saying, Glenn, you make the live streams even better.
Thanks, AJ.
John Thompson, far too many post-apocalyptic novels out there, zombie stuff or post-nuclear build. Give me earlier stuff like On the Beach, far more thought-provoking. Neville Shoot. And I'm worried now that Adam's really took us a little bit seriously. He said, sorry, it wasn't the intention.
As soon as I saw him put that, that's why I said, we're just joking, Adam. It's fine. You're more than welcome. Don't be silly.
Adam, everyone's welcome here.
Yeah.
There's room for everyone. If you're doing reviews, then you go for it. You're not treading on my toes. You'll give different opinions to what our opinion is just that. It's our opinion. So whatever you're adding to the conversation, show your part, mate. It's you're welcome on the channel. You're welcome to add your things into the comments. I really hope you didn't take offense to me saying that. I was only joking, but anyway, now I've got my guilty thing still on my head. I'm going to move on very quickly because we're going to wrap this up in a moment. But Glenn, did you pick up anything this week?
I bought you a Superman figure.
Yeah.
Which appeared in your last video. Didn't go unnoticed. Yeah.
It's not to hand.
What did I buy that day? I don't think I bought anything else that day at all.
No.
Yeah. I've literally bought like I found a Taskmaster book in charity shop. Picked that up. Love Taskmaster. You've never watched it at all, have you?
No. Junior. I watched Taskmaster Junior because my young one was watching it.
No. Awful. Love the show. It's one of our favourites. So just picked that up because it was there. But no, other than that, I've not picked up any physical media at all this week. I couldn't even tell you this week what's out.
No, me neither. I've lost connection to the release schedule. Clark Many says we've got Shedloads completely lost it this week. I hope it's on good stuff. John Thompson, Only Lovers Left Alive by Dave Wallace. Now there's a decent post-apocalyptic novel from the 60s. There we go. I've not actually bought anything this week, but it's been Father's Day, so my kids got me.
Hey,
more of the Superman. I can tell there's a theme. I think my wife might have added this. We've got some luxury fragrance room spray, which is bergamot and oud. So I assume a little den up here. I assume she's dropping hints. And then we also got a little book there. Darth Vader and Son. So
my dog's got me some socks and an Amazon voucher.
Nice. What are you going to turn it into, Glenn? Not the socks, the Amazon voucher.
Oh, well, I'm going to turn the socks into hand puppets because, you know, so I might use the Amazon voucher for some of them like googly eyes so I can stick them on the hand puppet. And yeah, I can have all my friends round. Yeah. I don't know, to be honest. Probably, but you know, we were talking a few weeks ago about the. Obviously, I love wrong hand, Glenn. There we go. The Shining. There's that lovely big Teshin book that I had my eye on. It was like £100, and there was no way I was going to pay that. And then it dropped to 76. And then somebody on the live said, "Oh, have you seen it? It's now 65." I was like, "Oh God, that's even more tempting." And then it went back up to 100, and now it's down to 60. I don't know if that's changed, but yeah, there's a serious temptation with that because it looks a beautiful, beautiful book. Let's see where it's at. Yeah, it's still at £60 and 8p. So it may go towards that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
That's fair enough. I'm going to blast through the comments and see what other people have had as well, and then I think we're going to wrap up soon because we're ticking on a little bit.
Well, we need to talk about next week as well, don't we?
Yeah. I'm going to pass through the comments first then. So we've got AJ. Just noticed Showgirls in the back. Yes, it's been spotted, but no one's got the quote yet. What quote?
Not yet. What quote? What quote? Where is it?
Jerry picks up Tombstone Standard Edition and Kingdom of Heaven biscuits in.
Oh, Jerry. Jerry, no.
Jeremy says, "Nice mug." Thank you, Jeremy. I blame my parents. Brian Smith, Omen 4, Armageddon 2000, and Omen 5 novels from George McGill are good. They were never made into movies. Well worth a read.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were out there because I'm just going wheeling off. Bear with me. Keep going.
I'm going to carry through these. Big Jace picked up a DVD box set and converted it to a Blu-ray cover. Plus, I got Men in Black International. One to add to the set. Woody, only pickups for me. There were 3 CDs: The Cure, Mixes of a Lost World, War on Drugs and a Deeper Understanding, and Grateful Dead, Ready or Not. Good Nana Jones. Has anyone mentioned Halloween 2 Easter egg? Someone did get it. Kind of, I think. Yeah. You see it? Just here. Don't need to embiggen.
You don't need to embiggen. You can embiggen. Embiggen.
Well done, Good Nana Jones.
Yeah, embiggen.
6 times. Shot him 6 times.
I shot him 6 times. Anyway, I like to purchase movie tie-in novels and stuff like this. So yeah. So there's an Omen 4 and 5 in books.
It looks that way, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So
I have 1. I have 2.
There you go.
I have 3. Obviously, there we go.
Morgan McGill.
Omen 4, Omen Garden 2000, and Omen 5. Okay, I'll be tracking them down.
Yeah. Jeremy couldn't read the board. Sorry, Jeremy. I'll try and get it further up front.
Yeah, he can read a cheese board, though, can't he?
Yeah. Antonelli Pillow from B&N is the anime film The Colours Within.
Barnes and Noble. Nice.
Part of Many got Roadhouse, Taking of Pelham 123, Usual Suspects, Great Escape, and pre-ordered Holy Grail. There we go.
Marvelous.
John Thompson, those price algorithms on online retail sites are annoying. Are they set by the AI monster?
Who knows?
The one that you're tracking.
Yeah.
You need to have a look at Camel, as mentioned last week.
You did.
Clock of Many also pre-ordered Scum from BFI. Here we go. Dave Simon H ordered Santa Sagre today, the 2024 2-disc Severin release, spotted it at HMV's 2 for 15 and got it with Woman at War, an Icelandic film, I think.
Nice.
Variation on these. And Jerry Tier got the Omen Biscuit Tin Blu-ray. And on that note, I need to talk about next week with you all. It's kind of a little serious talk. I want to still do a live stream, and I'm still going to make the efforts to do a live stream, but we might have to either juggle the time or shorten it down. I'm not sure which I can do yet, but basically, do I say why? I can kind of say why.
You can say why.
I've got a fitting and a hair test and a makeup test on Monday morning down in London. I'm due there at 8 o'clock, and it's probably about a 3-hour drive. So I need to be up at sort of 4 o'clock in the morning to be able to be in the car on my way and get there in time. So unfortunately, to get to bed at a decent time, I will need to probably wrap the live stream up in about an hour or something like that if we start at the normal time. I'm still going to make the efforts to come onto the live stream, but I need to make sure I'm tucked up and in bed for at least an hour earlier than normal. So apologies, but it is something that's kind of good, that's looking like it's going to happen. So, yeah, I just need to get my beauty sleep and make sure I'm safe on the roads and driving.
Well, we discussed this because I'm away as well. So, and we're away with friends. So I don't want to be kind of rude with them. So we said, let's do an hour. And I said to you, why don't we just, because each week you worry about topics and thinking about topics and things. And my favorite thing when we're on here is everybody, we start on a topic, but then as soon as everybody starts commenting and things, it can often take us off on a tangent and we talk about various different other things. And the interaction thing is what I love about this. Can't stand spending time with Phil, but the interaction of other people is very important to me. So I suggested, why don't we do just like an Ask Us Anything next week for an hour?
Yeah.
And we'll start talking about something, and whatever you guys comment on, we'll just start talking about and kind of go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Should we do that? So should we just stick with 7:30 and just do like an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Ask Us Anything next week. Probably be on for about an hour. I still want to do the stream next week because the next 2 or 3 weeks are probably going to be up in the air as well. I could be away filming for 2 or 3 weeks. Not sure yet, but I will take the laptop with me and see if I can do a stream away. But I'm not sure of internet signal, not sure of what time I'll be available or where I'll be or anything like that. So I want to make efforts where it is possible. But yeah, I want to be here for you guys because you're with us every week. So I want to make sure we do our best to be with you somehow as well. But for now, thank you all for watching. I'm just going to whip through the comments and then we're going to tap off, log off, say goodbye.
Going to do one. We're out of here.
Clock of Many, no worries. Whatever you think is best, Phil. Jeremy says, take the day off. Woody, take a week off, guys. Phil, get your beauty sleep. Glenn, enjoy time with friends. We can always catch up the week after. I'm not sure if we could. Jeremy Carr, is your collection collecting dust? Yes, it is, Jeremy. Too much of it definitely is. John Thompson, Phil, you don't have to apologise. We all know you need your beauty sleep.
Yeah, look at him. Jesus, honestly.
Asim, what are you, Gilm?
I think that's filming.
Yeah, can't say. I'm tied up in non-disclosure agreements and things like that. So
I know, though, and for a small fee, I will tell you.
Clock of Many, good night, Vienna. Jeremy Carr, thank you for the stream. Asim, what are you filming, Phil? Can't say. Nicholas Dickens, those Godzilla films are fun, Big Jace. Jeremy, last call for liking the stream. Charlie85, see you next week. Anthony Lepiello, goodbye. See you next time. AJ Pink, thanks for always putting on a great live stream. Thanks you all for joining me. And until next week, I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.